laughing gas situation, also known as nitrous dioxide, is to become a criminal offence. We're talking about new government plans to tackle antisocial behaviour, which will be announced today.
Yes, and it's often sold, you'll have seen them probably, in metal canisters. It can lead to a vitamin deficiency that damages nerves in the spinal column.
Joined in the studio now by former receptionist Kerry Donaldson, whose misuse of laughing gas left her unable to walk. Kerry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So seriously, Kerry, you ended up in a wheelchair because of this laughing gas.
Yeah.
How and why do you think that was?
I think it was because of the amount of laughing gas I did do, and I was unaware of what I was actually putting into my body, and that's what I think was the issue.
So, Kerry, how many canisters of laughing gas were you doing typically?
So it started off with probably 2 boxes.
How many are in a box, roughly?
24s in a box, so 2 boxes.
Yeah.
I would start off like occasionally. I wouldn't do it that much. It would just be at a party with friends and stuff.
But you would go through 50 of those a night?
Yeah.
So what did it do for you?
You get like a little tingle. I guess you get like a little, like a head rush. So that was the initial thing that it would do for you. But after a little while, after doing so many, it was like you was trying to chase that initial head rush that you got, not understanding that it's actually affecting you.
And so do you think you became addicted to them? Because I think at the peak, you were doing something like 600 of these a week.
That's the second time, like when I was so it started when I was 18, and that's when I was only doing like 2 to 4 boxes here and there. But then as I got older, I kept on doing more and more.
So were you taking alcohol with this?
Yeah.
And how much was it? Was it a cheap way of getting high, or how much does one of these boxes of 24 cost you?
Well, when I was doing it, it was like £10 a box, so it was cheap. Mm. But I think now the prices have gone up because it's more of the bigger canisters. It's not the little silver canisters. So
you've talked about the highs you were getting and the benefits you were getting from it. When did you realise something's wrong here? When was it beginning to adversely affect you, and what were the results? So
when I turned about 21, I would say, one morning I had woke up and the tip of my fingers were tingly, numb, my feet, I couldn't stand up, I couldn't grab onto things and hold on to things. So that's when I really realised something's wrong. But at that time I was still unaware of what I was putting into my body. So when I went to the hospital, I was honest with them that I had been taking these canister things, and they told me that it was I had a nitrous oxide overdose, nerve damage and B12 deficiency, and that was caused by the laughing gas.
And we spoke to a minister from the government this morning who said that research is only really beginning to be done into the health implications of this. Mm. Are you expecting to make a recovery? Or because I know you've come into the studio this morning in a wheelchair. I mean, do you expect to be able to walk again?
I know I will walk again, but it's just I probably won't have the same strength that I had before, because I do have a disc bulge in my lower back caused by the balloons, and that's permanent. That will never go, and I will always have nerve damage. So my legs won't restore back to the strength that they had, but hopefully I will walk again.
So how long ago was it when you started taking them? And what sort of time has passed?
So I started taking them at 18 and I stopped taking them at 24, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm now 26.
6 years ago and then 8 years ago, right, since you started the journey.
So when I stopped at 24, I actually didn't take them for a year. And I was walking on a crutch for that year.
Yeah.
And after that, January, so last year, January, is when I actually went to the hospital, and that's when I've now become in this wheelchair. So I hadn't taken them for a year, but the nitrous was still in my body, affecting my body, even though I wasn't taking them.
And Kerry, do you think it's a good idea that the government have decided to ban these then?
I do think it's a good idea, but at the same time, I don't think that they could ban them, because initially they're not used for humans to inhale, they're used for catering. So it's like, if you ban them, are you going to ban them from catering, and are you going to ban them from the stuff that they need in catering? So
OK, well, that's a dilemma there. For somebody who's used them over the weekend or intends to use them during the week, what would you say to them, Kerry?
First of all, I'd say it's not worth it. Your health is more important. And for the people that ain't going to listen and still are going to do it, I would say to them, educate yourself and understand what you're putting into your body. And if you still want to put that into your body, unfortunately, you're going to have to learn the hard way.